Aloha, and this is Garden A. Now Garden A is an easy garden to describe because basically it's the strip of land that we own that's along the border of Hinalo Street. And this is Hinalo Street here. This is the street that leads into the property. So basically a lot of the activities that we do in here are maintenance activities to keep the border nice looking and presentable. Now one of the things we do is this beautiful bamboo grove here. This is one of our harvesting areas. We love to get the bamboo here to use in our various building projects. And where we try to harvest it is right here in this area here. Because as you can see, it's right next to a palm tree, a coconut tree, and the century plant in there. You can see as well, this bamboo, this is a new shoot that's growing out here. Now, another of the maintenance things is palm fronds. They always keep falling as the plant grows, and so when one falls down, it covers over other plants or knocks into buildings or whatever. So this is one of those things that we always like to cut the palm frond down. And so that's really easy. Very easy with a machete. You just take it and cut it. And it's usually one cut. So now I take it away from the hala. And what I like to do with the palm fronds is I like to put them in a border area where we need a border. And this is a nice little area here. So it's we've just rested there, and then that way it breaks down. Right over here, what we're trying to do is go for a little red theme on the border. So we planted a bunch of little red plants. The copper leaf. This one, I don't know the name. It's terrible. But I don't know the name. But these are all growing up beautifully. So maintenance for this would be girl weeding style, you know, sort of more intense fine weeding to basically allow the red plants to come out and be celebrated. And moving along the border, we have a border along here. And in the border area, you can see cane grass is growing in. There's hala here. What we try to do is there's Mexican sunflowers on this part of the border. And with the Mexican sunflowers, they continually grow horizontally. And you see right here, there's cane grass and Mexican sunflowers growing into the secondary border. So the maintenance activity here would be to cut this stuff back. Take the cane grass and that would go into the crater so it doesn't pollute this area. Weeding a plant like this plant here, which is called Miley, it wraps around. You can see how the vines wrap around plants. So you can do it by reaching in and trying to pull it out in handfuls. And that way you strip it away from the plant so that it doesn't choke out the plant. Because that's basically how these ones operate. This is one that we definitely want to weed. And as you can see, the bamboo is definitely one. It's really going crazy here. Now this bamboo here is a really interesting bamboo. As you can see, it's a very thorny bamboo. And this is again keeping with our theme of having thorny, crunchy plants on the outside in our border areas, and then having all the soft, juicy, edible plants on the inside. Continue along the border, again the sunflowers, simply cutting back the Mexican sunflowers because it's choking out the other decorative plants that we've planted along here. They're getting a little bit choked out by the Mexican sunflowers. Again, one of the other things, the coleus, one of the ways that we always want to do a twofold job with coleus is we think, which pea garden or which area do we need to have quick coverage vegetation? And then we go, and when we see the coleus is flowering like this, we come and we snap the flowers. Number one, that saves this particular plant here. It'll stop it from getting too scraggly and dying. And number two, it gives us all these plants to plant in our new location. And coleus really grows really, really easy. You literally just stick it in the ground and it will grow. For maintenance, I'm going to just pan the camera here. Up in the sky, you can see these are those branches of trees and stuff like that. Those are albesias, which we garroted. girdled, I should say. And those ones are slowly they're coming down. Now with the copper leaf, we're putting the new red ones, and you can see those are growing in the weeds there. So maintenance activity for this would simply be with a comma to give them a little bit of weeding around and to plant more. We basically want to change the slope so that it's red. As you come in, and you can see all the red plants. We planted all of those last year, and slowly they're growing. Eventually, they're going to grow super big. They'll be huge bushes, and we're going to be taking down these trees because these are all the albizia is a very weak tree. It's a very weak weed tree, and it's nice in some areas as a decoration, but they're too dangerous otherwise. They're really not meant for this climate. They're meant for the African savanna, you know. So here is the Malochias. This is also needing to be taken down. We're basically right now, for all intents and purposes, we're working, let's say at this purple flower here, this part is pretty much where we're working till. We're not going any further at the moment. We will in the future, but for now, we're just going to end the garden at this spot. But what I will do to close out is actually walk in to show you that we have, since last year, I'm walking in weeds to my waist. So this is one of those weeding jobs. But since last year, we planted a lot of these red plants. Now what you see is that they've been planted, but they're also covered by weeds now. So one of the great jobs is simply all around it, a distance of about a foot with the comma, and maybe throw either the weeds around it or throw some soil around it. Basically just giving a little bit of room for the plant to grow, because once the plant gets to a certain height, it doesn't need any more help. It'll be totally okay by itself. And like you can see here, here's some of the other ones we planted last year, and they're all growing. And as the albizia slowly come down, these red ones are all coming up. So we're hoping in a future version of this video to show you a border that's just filled with gorgeous red plants, and it just looks really Hedonesian. Thank you very much. Aloha.